Hi folks, hope you're doing well. So, something that just went into my mind, I thought, oh, that's a very interesting point. Was China. The fact the church in China faced persecution. And faced persecution for a long time. Well, the reason why they faced persecution is because they were speaking truth in a country where certainly politicians, the people in charge, were full of lies. And yeah, they wanted people, the politicians wanted the people to bow down to them. And the church said, no, you're supposed to bow down to God. And obviously, they were speaking truth. And they weren't really speaking against the politicians, probably, because obviously that's a really silly thing to do. But they were speaking truth. And, yeah. Persecution after that, because, And obviously, persecution is not good. It isn't. It's really bad. It hurts. It's going to hurt a lot. Well, because basically you're trying to... It's the effort of the persecutor to try and force you to stop. And, if they want you to stop quickly, then yes, it's going to be harsh, to say the least, the persecution. And, Now, I don't think for a second that it's a case where the church in Europe and America made a decision not to be persecuted. I don't think that's the case at all. No. I don't think there was ever a point where they had a meeting and a discussion and decided not to be persecuted. No. See, the problem is, with regards to all of that, though, it doesn't matter whether they had a meeting. It doesn't matter whether they actually decided in a meeting that they were not going to speak truth. They were not going to hold people accountable. They're not going to speak truth about the word of God. Even the things that are uncomfortable, they were not going to risk offending and risk persecution. It doesn't matter whether they decided that. What matter is, they won't risk it. That's the point. They won't. They got to that point. And they got to that point a long time ago. A long time ago. Well, I say at least 30 years ago, because, for as long as I have been going to churches, it's been pretty clear that in most churches there are certain scriptures that they will not preach. Anyone's talking about the cut-off, John 15, talking about the branches that don't bear fruit, they won't preach that. They won't preach it. Because the problem is, if people then come and say, well, what does that mean? What's the pastor going to say? Well, they're talking about you. The word of God is talking about you. They're not going to do that, are they? No. I would, but they wouldn't. Yeah. No, because if you do anything like that, then people can get offended. And when people get offended, that's a problem. Yeah. We'll put it this way. If you have churches like the Oasis Church, the River Church, and the Community Church of God, who all think it's okay to ban people from church because they can be offensive. Right, so if someone can be offensive with people, if they don't care about offending people or don't try to not offend people, they ban them, okay. Then obviously if the pastor offends someone in that church, they know what could happen. That they could be sacked from that church. If it's okay for them to ban people, they could be banned as well. So therefore, they won't say anything. They won't say anything that will offend people. Well, persecution is harsh. Yeah. I'm pretty darn sure an eternity in hell is a damn sight worse. I'm pretty sure an eternity in hell is a damn sight worse. I've done videos, and well, I've seen in videos that I believe I've seen on YouTube where they've had these videos of people that have supposedly seen into hell and seen what happens in hell. And the only thing that I believed was where they said that you have church members that when they see their pastor going into hell, they scream, they rip their clothes, they rip their hair out, and they go and attack that pastor with so much ferocity. Yeah, they attack them, they break their bones, they rape their pastor. They do all the nastiest things because they want to hurt that person. Because that person led them into hell. Do I think that's true? Yes, because I see it. I see it in the River Church. I see it in Oasis Church. I see it in the church, Community Church of God. I see pastors doing that. I see pastors leading people down a path that is going to see them in hell for eternity. I've used the examples, and I use these examples for that purpose. Of trying to say to people, when you do this, you are making a decision that's leading you on a path that's very, very bad and very, very dangerous. If you can't deal with offence now, if you want to deal with things according to the world, then you get the punishment that the world gets. That those who do not bear fruit because they're not of God, you get the same punishment as them. The reason why I've been giving the examples of the River Church, the Oasis Church, Community Church of God, is because these things are happening all over. All over. And people need to understand you can't do this. You can't. Before I was doing examples of the churches, I was doing examples of the silly neighbours I had upstairs, who were doing the same. Judgment and wanting to make me pay. Because they were doing judgment and wanting to make me pay, again, Matthew 7, 1-2. They were determining that they themselves, that their sin is seen by God, because they couldn't help but point out mine. Because it was in their nature. And again, God never made them do that. It was in their nature. God didn't put that nature in them. They chose that nature. Because they did. Through the decision making that they'd had from birth to that point, they had chosen to be that way. Well, that was up to them. But we live in a time where we've had cancel culture, so therefore it was important to do videos about that, because one of the most dangerous things we face right now is that Matthew 7, 1-2. That's the thing. That's why Matthew 7 starts with, do not judge. Simple. Do not judge. So, as I said, you can't ban someone from church if you're not judging. You can't do that. So, yeah. And that's all to stop people from being offended. Yeah. So churches are suffering persecution. Churches carrying out persecution. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Right. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Be blessed and be a blessing, and have a fantastic week. Enjoy. Bye-bye.